E aí pessoal, beleza? Bom, hoje tô aqui para mais um vídeo da série de Genshin Impact. Vamos continuar, né? Se você quiser ver essa série desde o início, eu vou deixar um card aqui em cima. E, se puder, se inscrever no canal e ativar o sininho, ajuda demais, beleza pessoal? Vamos lá então? Tamo aqui, ó, deixa eu... Calma aí, mulher, calma aí. Deixa eu pegar os prêmios da missão diária, tá aí, ó. E aqui também, né? E vamos seguir a missão. Vamos lá. A missão. O Akasha pulsa, a chama Kalpa se ergue. Um brinde à vitória. Vá para o Porto Ormus. Nilou pediu que você visitasse os convidados por toda Sumeru e garantisse que eles podem aparecer para o banquete de celebração. Olha isso aqui, ó. Oh, esse aqui é o galho que fez a Lorde Menor, né não? Hã? Hã? Mano. Enfim. Que a Lorde Menor foi criada de um galho da Irmã, né? Será que é uma referência? Vamos lá? Eu vou usar o teleporte pra cá. E vamos pra missão. Acho que a gente vai ter que, pelo que a gente leu, vai ter que encontrar todos pra meio que confirmar que eles vão no banquete. É isso. Viramos, tá ligado? Viramos... Como é que fala? Tem um nome pra isso. Não é carteiro, não. Eu esqueci o nome, tá bom? Mas vambora. Aqui, acho que quem tá aqui é o Saino. Sei lá, acho que é ele. Que eu me lembro, o jogo falou. Não sei não. Vamos ver. Não é a Deia. Essa aí não é a Deia, não é aquela outra mulher lá. Ela tá curada. Essa mulher tá curada agora, né?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
It's been so long since we've seen you.
Como você
I'm
está?
doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been happier. And I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
Será por quê, né?
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard about it.
Então você também está aqui?
That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady. Old habits die hard.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much. It wouldn't be a problem if you wish to.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you'd recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard anymore?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most
É
dangerous
verdade.
jobs ever. Are you
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I wouldn't have come up with this idea. I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. It made me realize that life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to settle down on this side of the...
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that. I thought he was joking.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the academia.
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the academia?
What?
Ele não falou isso pra nós, não.
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, And I'll hate them told me that now was a good time to find a job in the academia. But only if I wanted to.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Realmente.
Me neither. But I think Dia would look great.
Ugh, forget about it. I wouldn't last 10 seconds. I'll hate them probably just like the way I worked and knew I'm good in a fight. So he suggested I find some work in the academia.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a Matra. Because you're super amazing.
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. I prefer to be free to live however I choose. In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary means facing all kinds of danger.
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything, being your bodyguard has been unfamiliar territory for me.
I don't want to see you go, but...
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again.
Acho que ser livre é apenas parte de quem Derria é.
Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. That makes me happy. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long, we'll be a dying breed. So I'd better get to work while I still...
Huh? But wait a second. You make it...
Well, no. Not yet, at least. I promised my lady I'd stick around until next...
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time? We were wondering if you had received...
Oh, did Nilou write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying. My lady has been very energetic lately, and keeps taking me on hikes, staying out even into the night. By the time we get back, the reception...
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so the old man on duty is also usually...
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received the letter. Good thing Nilou asked us to come and check on that.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out here.
It must be something important for Nilou to specifically write to us.
Yes, she said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar, and will also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. She was hoping you could come.
Great! I'll be sure to attend.
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast? Can I just...
Since it's being organized by Nilou, I don't think she'll be too picky about that. If anything, I think she wants to see us.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll see you there.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know where Sino and Raman are?
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace. Normally no one knows his whereabouts.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to do in our village. You can try your luck. As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss with Sino. You can ask Sino when you meet. Don't
Valeu.
mention it. You'd better get going.
All right, on to our next...
Ninguém recebeu carta nenhuma. Ainda bem nós estamos indo ver eles, porque ninguém recebeu nada. A verdade é essa. Temos que ir pra lá. Opa! Opa! Olha o que apareceu aqui, rapaz. Missão importante, vou fazer, tá? Tinha uma por aqui também, ó. Por aqui não era? Que a gente já ativou ela. Que é essa daqui, ó. Ou é essa ou é essa? Não, esse aqui é o evento. Eu acho que é essa aqui, ó. Essa aqui é a missão que eu ainda vou fazer, tá? Essa aqui é uma das missões. Que é tipo essa daqui, ó. Tava bem aqui. E essa daqui vamos fazer também, inclusive. Pelo que eu tô vendo, quando eu vier pra cá, essa missão já vai ativar, né? Aí eu vou deixar ela guardada, igual eu fiz com a outra, tá bom? Vamos lá, ó. Vou deixar guardada ela pra fazer depois, igual eu vou fazer a outra depois também. Mas vou fazer as duas, tá bom? Que são importantes. Quando tem esse sinal azul aí, que aparece no mapa inteiro, é porque é missão importante, né? Já as outras missões azuis são missões de mundo bem comum, né? Essas aí não precisa nem fazer, pelo menos agora. Vou chegar ali e vai começar essa missão, vamos lá. Mas eu vou ler o que tá, né? Do que se trata. Não vai começar, não? Então não vou falar. Eu achei que começaria, porque a outra começou. A mulher estava sendo atacada por uns cogumelos lá, né? Então não vou mexer com ela agora não, tá bom? Mas vou fazer ela no futuro ainda. Com certeza. Já essas aqui é missão de mundo, a missão comum aí. A gente vê depois. Mas por enquanto não deu fazer não. Que ali é quem? Ah, ele. Já te encontrei, cara. Foi rápido.
It's been a while since we last visited Aru Village. Ah, there's Sino.
Quanto tempo?
What brings you here?
We recovered well, and Tanari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tanari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Obrigado por nos levar até ele.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the...
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place. But you know one of the people I'm meeting as well.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
E lá, quem tá aqui? A mulher lá, lá do início da missão, né? Ou seja, já encontramos dois que a gente precisava. E essa mulher aqui, a gente pode convidar ela também. Eu esqueci o nome dela, acho que é Serata, sei lá. Né? Não sei. Cetária, é isso aí.
Oh, you know me?
Não.
Oh, well,
Don't worry, these are our friends. No,
I see.
Como você tem estado?
I'm doing well. Many good.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding...
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, well, I suppose I should... I've decided to leave the academia.
Enfim, acho que fazemos parte disso aqui, coisa pouca. Né?
What?
Você não será mais a estudiosa?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely...
I can see what you're saying.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a...
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert.
Aí
She
sim.
can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring her ideas to the Eremites.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. I'll teach them, and after they've finished learning from me, that is the true
I
meaning
see.
of education and the spreading of knowledge.
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Sataria is more than welcome to come teach here. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of...
Oh, please, where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel...
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death, which is why we recognize extraordinary actions.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my... Sataria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the academia's grasp on you will become. Sataria, why haven't you gone home? Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
Enfim.
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home.
De nada, tá bom?
I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the Academia. Lord Sino told me that Azar didn't belong there.
Azar has received much-needed punishment. Though, if you ask me,
Eu também
it may
acho,
have
cara.
been too light.
Lord
Ouvimos.
Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the Academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the Eremites. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Rahman.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss with Sino.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the Academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical books and other related items. If it weren't for Sino and Lesser Lord Kusanali...
Apart from this, the Academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Satarian know as soon as I have. We must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers. Then we'll once again see the wisdom and glory.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business too?
No, not at all. We're actually here on behalf of Nilu. Nilu wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where the letters should be sent, so she asked us to come find everyone. A celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. She hopes that all at the feast will also be celebrating Sino's although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated.
Celebration? Feast?
Então você não sabia? Ninguém. A mulher mentiu pra nós. Nilo mentiu, não mandou carta pra ninguém. É isso.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Tainari was right. She really didn't know.
This feast is for you, Sino.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino. You must...
No, not really. But I'll go.
Vocês também estão
Well,
convidados.
I still have a lot to handle here. Besides, I need to look after Miss Sataria in the desert.
Que isso, cara?
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind, the messages. I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of your dance. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and please keep dancing. And someday, I'll be able to appreciate your art.
Okay, we've got all that down.
Passaremos a
Our
mensagem.
job here is complete as well. Oh, Sino, remember,
Got it.
E mais alguém? Não. Espere pelo banquete. 19 a 24 horas, 2 dias depois. Então, vamos aqui. Depois da manhã, 19 horas. É aqui. Então, eu acho que isso aqui já é a parte final da missão. Esse banquete deve ser o final, né? Aí eu vou ver o que eu vou fazer depois. Tem muita coisa para fazer ainda, né? Tem que colocar. Eu vou tirar um vídeo só para colocar o andarilho no time, testar ele em batalha e pegar aqueles pontos de teleporte que a gente deixou para trás, né? Vamos ver.
today's the big day. Let's go to the Grand Bazaar and see how the celebration's coming along.
Vá para o grande bazar e compareça ao banquete. Vou aqui em cima, que eu pulo lá embaixo e já caio lá onde é que está o local. A verdade é essa, né? Vou fazer então aquelas 2 missões ali, beleza? Missões grandes. Quando tem aquele sinal azul que aparece no mapa todo, é porque vai ser missão muito importante. Essa eu deixo passar, não. Ou que a gente explora ainda mais o local aqui que a gente tá, né? Talvez esse vídeo aqui, seja o último da Shangling aí. Talvez, tá? Tem que ver o que eu vou fazer amanhã ainda. Segue, essa missão vai terminar agora, né? Parece que vai terminar nesse vídeo aqui. Todo mundo ali já, ó. E aí, pessoalzinho?
Everybody's already here. Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
You're here.
Tô vendo.
Ah, there you are.
Boa tarde.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work. I'm very happy to see you here.
But we're not late, are we? It's just that everyone else arrived ahead.
I propose that the last one who arrived be put in charge of today's speeches.
Como assim, cara?
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really? Well, even better.
Come join us over here. Let's share some great food and drinks, and chat about all.
Everything looks quite good.
Wow, Paimon can't wait. Traveler, just look at all the delicious food.
Banquete acontece conforme planejado, bebida, comida. Aí. Todos comem e bebem antes de assistir a apresentação de Nilo. Tá. O tempo foi passando, a atmosfera e a maravilhosa tarde quase.
Wow,
Enfim.
it's so delicious. Oh, this grilled meat tastes amazing.
A comida tá do mesmo jeito, ninguém comeu.
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. And we have gifts that were sent by the residents of Sumeru City when they heard we were holding. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru and wanted me to thank you all on their behalf.
Ah, feels kind of nice to be seen as a hero. I could get used to this.
Né?
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job. You've always been amazing.
My lady sure has a way with words.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated in the great plan.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive together. It's unbelievable.
Eu já me acostumei, filha. Tanta coisa incrível que a gente faz.
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was against us and feeling like we...
That's how I remember it too.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even more luck for us to formulate a plan and implement it successfully. Moreover, judging from the results...
Yeah, everyone gave it their all when it was almost like a performance. We took the stage and everyone played their part. And thanks to everyone's efforts, the performance was a great success. So, would you say we're good actors too?
É mais um talento para registrar.
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was able to return to power.
Yes, even after being abandoned and neglected so many times, she's finally returned.
Retornar para a academia, abandonada e negligenciada.
Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her losing all her wisdom and memories of the past. The academia basically abandoned. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised.
No, everything you said is correct.
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
Não se importe comigo, minha mente estava em outro lugar.
Even if those two giants of the academia are here, I still have to say it. Those sages really have some nerve. 500 years ago, Lesser Lord Kusanali used all her power for the people of Sumeru. And what did they...
Parece que depois de todos esquecerem a Lorde Maior, o entendimento delas da história de Sumeru também mudou. É porque a Lorde Maior meio que não existia, né? Agora todos acreditam que a Lorde Menor foi a Arconte de Sumeru o tempo todo. Eu acho que é o melhor. O melhor para a Lorde Menor é isso aí, entendeu? Esse foi o jeito de meio que esconder a existência da Lorde Maior, que não existiu. Não existiu. Talvez apenas eu, em todo Teyvat, lembre que a Lorde Maior já existiu. Cara, falar pra você. Alguém mais deve lembrar, a verdade é essa. Como testemunha de tudo que aconteceu, eu respeitarei a escolha dela e manterei o segredo.
If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it turns into a knuckle sandwich, right, Sino?
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but their treatment of Lesser Lord Kusanali calls for a more severe punishment.
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his accomplices severely punished.
Fala com ela na cara, eu concordo.
I respect our deity's decision and won't interfere in any. While we're on this topic, why didn't you accept the Academia's invitation to become the Grand Sage?
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a sage?
Not at all. But every person handling the selection process has said that you are the most suitable candidate.
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way? This is a good thing, yet you're making it sound like I overthrew Azar for my own personal gain.
But seriously, though, I always wondered if you had some personal motives behind.
I did have my own motive, but it had nothing to do with being a sage. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside, then it wouldn't be long until chaos ensued. I had no intention of letting their dreams disrupt my...
By that, you mean your life working as the Academia's scribe.
Precisely.
Wait, is that all? So, that's the only reason why you joined us and came up with all those plans?
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite the personality.
You flatter me.
All right then. How about you? You've already resumed work as the General Mahamatra, right?
Esquisito ao hater, né?
Will you be happy with that life?
It's not about being happy. There are mere...
Even so, keep your spirits up and try to be happy, okay? And try to smile more every day. Just like I'm doing now.
Vai lá, Sino.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Fale com todos do banquete. Vamos lá. Primeiro você, mulher, fala comigo.
Ah, there you are, traveler.
Eu estou aqui.
Well, how is it? Are you enjoying the feast today? If there's anything you're
Está
happy
ótimo.
with, that's good. It's the first time I've ever invited so many exceptional people to one place. I was a little nervous. You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. It's unbelievable that we've got everyone together here. Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be happy as long as you're enjoying yourselves.
Nós temos uma mensagem para te dar, que é lá da Cetária. Você conta a mensagem da Cetária, tá aí.
I'm honored to have her think of me this way. If I have a chance in the future, I can't explain why, but I just feel elated.
É nóis, mulher. Cara, fica aí. E aí?
My lady, the grilled meat over there is delicious. Have you tried it?
Yes, I also tried some fruit just now. Oh, they're very... What an amazing place to relax. No wonder everybody likes to rest.
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Sou eu.
Hello! Oh, I'm so happy Nilu invited everybody. Oh, now I have the chance to meet all the heroes.
Estamos felizes de poder vir.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more eating and drinking. The feast is about having fun, not stuffy formality.
Calma, mulher. Fica aí, cara. Fica aí. Ah, fica aí. Fala comigo.
The atmosphere here is good. And everything is delicious.
É difícil ver você em um local tão animado.
Yeah, I don't often come to such places. I have a lot to handle these days. Otherwise, I could show you around.
Tudo bem, não se preocupe.
There's always next time. This feast is pretty...
Dá pra ver no seu rosto aí que você tá feliz. E o doidão esquisitão? Fala aí, doidão esquisitão.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings, but the atmosphere here is quite good.
Pensei que você fosse achar entediante.
No. This gathering today, the Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here feel happiness from the bottom of their hearts. Unlike the farces, that happiness is an emotion that'll be forever alien to those bookworms who have driven themselves in... I seem to have taken both keys when I left the house. Oh well.
Beleza, então. Só eu lembro da Lorde Maior.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop.
Estou com sono, parece que estou caindo no sono.
Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You'll wake up once you've put something yummy in your
Era
tummy.
brincadeira.
Of course. Just wait here for Paimon.
Eu vou cair, pai. Ó. É porque eu não dormi bem durante a noite que eu me senti com sono de repente? Ou é porque estou muito cheio? Ferrou, lá vem treta. É a Lorde Maior. Doutore.
It's me.
Ah. É a Lorde Maior, não é? Ou é? Não, é menor. Eu não sei, a Lorde Maior é igual a menor. Narida, parece que minha consciência está conectada com a sua de novo.
You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. I was thinking about talking with you, and the next thing I knew, I had made a connection with you. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows.
Você precisa de mim para algo?
I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. I wanted to have a look for myself. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any free time. Although you've already helped me with a lot, there's still one more thing.
Fala
I
aí.
hope. Please say thank you to everyone for me.
Então sobre isso, Narida, seria melhor se você pudesse fazer isso, você mesmo.
Is it not?
Algumas coisas no mundo devem ser feitas por nós mesmos.
But if I just show up all of a sudden, people, what if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast? That'd be the last.
Vai ficar tudo bem, não se preocupe.
Okay,
Decidiu?
yes, I have.
Então tá bom. Ah, tá de brincadeira.
You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So,
Ela entrou na minha mente,
I've
capivara.
decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky.
Capivarinha, viu? Então pelo menos me prometa que você não vai dizer nada esquisito. Aí.
Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nahida?
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar.
No, of course not. Are you? Lesser... Hello, Nilu. You know who I am? Yes. I already know every one of you. Nilu, I'll hate them.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the traveler's body so that I could thank all of you and thank you so much for rescuing me. Even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the academia. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Teyvat would have people refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. I'm quite fond of this name. It not only explains your identities, but also, please, allow me to present to you my most sincere...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I...
Dingerzad, the suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect...
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be. We just did what was necessary and set things...
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to be so polite with us.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much.
Voltei. Viu como eu disse? Todos estão felizes.
Yeah.
Naira aparece para uma visita surpresa. Tá, felicidade sincera, flor dos corações, beleza. Uma atmosfera aquecida de conversas e risadas continua. Vão virar a noite. O banquete acaba de uma maneira perfeita. Cutscene, será? Próximo dia.
Are you awake? Did you rest well?
Dormi bem.
After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton.
Nada comparado a Paimon.
That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon, the Sage of Gluttony. All right, since you're awake now, should we go and have a chat with Nahida? She should be in the academia right about now. If you have any questions, now's...
Eu quero perguntar sim. Essa parte da missão geralmente nos revela coisas importantes. Geralmente. Vamos ver se a gente vai ter sorte aqui de revelar alguma coisa top para nós. Vamos lá. É o final da missão mesmo. Quando a gente faz perguntas, é porque estamos no final mesmo. Santuário Surastana, ela ali, ó. Cheguei.
Nahida! Hello, Traveler and Paimon. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy. So are we. And that's why we're here to talk with you. Is there anything you want to know?
Sobre a caixa, eu vou perguntar a cada um. Sobre a caixa.
After recent events, the Akasha can no longer function as it used to.
Tá.
I've given it some thought, and have decided to shut it down permanently.
Top.
But this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them. I don't think this is good for... Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, they will soon understand that this life is more suitable for them. And as for the future of Sumeru, the former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. Sumeru needs such leaders more than ever. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. All the residents of the... I've already taken some measures to address this. It will take some time to rebuild everything.
Top. Sobre o que aconteceu depois de eu ter dormido aquele dia.
You mean, what happened after the doctor put you to sleep?
Ele pegou Gnosis, né, enfim. Mas destruímos as cópias dele.
You guessed correctly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable
Olha
to
que
that of
informação.
gods. I was no match for him in that kind of situation.
Os 3 primeiros mensageiros possuem poderes comparáveis aos dos deuses. Interessante. Aí não dá pra lutar.
However, in spite of the bad situation, I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it's just a bluff, he still fell for it.
Aí sim.
I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take place. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refute.
Sobre Scaramouche.
He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about him, But as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective. His future will be determined by fate.
Sobre Fontaine, a próxima parada em minha jornada.
Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the nation of justice? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system.
Does their Archon personally judge people?
No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials.
Então a Fontaine é a Hidro, né? Arconte, Hidro, Focalors. Tá muito calor mesmo
Even
hoje.
then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. It seems that she just likes to immerse herself in as Archon. She still reserves the right to influence the final. Anyway, let's just say she's got,
Entendi. Bom, informações importantes, né?
Are you sure? Isn't there some... Huh? You mean... About your sister.
Agora sim, manda aí.
While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your sister.
Mas nós dois viemos de além do mar de estrelas. Não deveria haver nenhuma informação sobre ela da Irminsul.
Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Teyvat? So there shouldn't be anything on him
Faz
or
sentido.
his sister.
This is true in your case. Irminsul indeed does not have any information on you.
Como assim, minha irmã é daqui?
However, there must be something different about your sister. Because, as it turns out, the world has recorded information on her after all.
What?
There is only one possible explanation. She
Olha,
belongs to this
loucura.
world.
Que loucura! Ou será que ela não é minha irmã? Ou será que... sei lá. Não faz sentido aí. Isso pode acontecer, ela nascer aqui ou nascer em outro lugar, isso pode acontecer. E a gente ser irmão, pode acontecer. Mas a chance é maior dela não ser minha irmã. Mas sei lá, né? Como isso é possível? Antes disso, eu sempre viajei pelo mar de estrelas com minha irmã. Como é possível que ela venha de Teyvat? As informações não batem. Há algo errado com minhas memórias? Ou foi esse mundo que fez algo com minha irmã? Eu acho que a segunda opção pode ser a mais, né?
But nothing about this makes any sense. Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
Tem mais informações? Você sabe pelo que ela... Oh, ela tem que ter mais informação, né? Ela conseguiu informação da nossa irmã na Irminsul. Se ela não tiver, ela tá de brincadeira.
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria.
Minha irmã, quer ver que a minha irmã causou a guerra de Canria? Quer ver, irmã? Olha aí, véi.
After the Conria disaster, she began her journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat.
Após o desastre, ela começou a jornada dela pelas 7 nações. Tá, isso aqui, beleza.
But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on her suddenly become fuzzy.
What do you mean, fuzzy? Did something happen?
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating her fate.
Alguém está aparentemente ofuscando o destino dela.
And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of.
Será que pode estar relacionado ao abismo?
But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow comes from this world.
Verdade.
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the descenders.
Descidos. Descidos deve ser os que vieram de outro mundo, né? Então, os fatos não consideram ela de outro mundo. Eles consideram, acredito.
What's a descender? Paimon's never...
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my gnosis. A very important part of the intel was about this world's descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th descender.
Ô, louco. O quarto. Quem são os 3? Que não são desse mundo. A Paimon, que eu nunca vi ninguém igual a ela. Vai que é, né? Quarto.
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other descenders before the Traveler? And his sister isn't even one of them?
Não conta a minha irmã porque ela era daqui.
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other descenders, I still need to verify their existence. It could take me some time.
Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information.
And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. There are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them.
O mesmo aqui, eu preciso de tempo para refletir sobre o que você disse.
And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru. I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nate.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't think... Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes. And maybe...
Tá bom. Minha irmã não é daqui. Quer dizer, ela é daqui. Eu não sou.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida. Paimon was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy. Like, about these descenders. So, does that just mean people like you who come traveling to Teyvat from someplace else? And
Acho que sim.
Whew. So many questions. Let's go find Nahida and see what else we can find out.
Olha ela aqui.
Is there anything you want to know?
Mas eu acho que vai ser as mesmas perguntas.
According to the records I was able to access, after the Conria disaster, she began her... But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irmã...
É a mesma coisa que ela tá falando.
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only...
Eu vou pular isso que ela tá repetindo, né?
If they can do... But something else I noticed was that... What's a Look, a very traveler... You are...
Huh?
That's right. As for the... And yet, there are many questions in my heart as well. And soon, I'm very... If fate is the...
I'm unsure.
The pleasure is... Alright.
Voltei, galera, mano. Minha irmã é daqui. Que loucura. Eu achei que teríamos informações, mas não tantas. Tem missão aqui ainda? Deixa eu ver, peraí. Peraí, jogo. Tá. Isso aqui é em Sumeru ainda. Isso aqui é em Sumeru ainda. Então, peraí. Peraí, deixa eu pensar. Primeiro vamos aqui. É assim que o jogo recomenda. Santuário Decrépito. que é a primeira aqui. Tá. Então, pera aí. Aqui nós temos coisa para fazer, mano. Muita informação da nossa irmã. Será que ela é nossa irmã? Enfim. Calma. Tem os testes que eu tenho que fazer. Só que esses testes não vai dar tempo de fazer hoje. E deixa eu ver qual a localização dessa missão. É bem aqui. Tá. Então eu vou fazer o seguinte, galera. No próximo vídeo, o que a gente faz? Tem outra aqui. A outra tá aqui, ó. Tá, então eu não posso vir pro Porto Ormus, não. E nem chegar perto disso aqui. Senão eu vou acabar ativando ela. Próximo vídeo a gente faz o seguinte. Coloca o andarilho no time. E sai com ele. Pra pegar esse ponto de teleporte. Pra poder tanto testar ele em batalha e tudo mais, né? Quanto também pegar os pontos de teleporte que tem que pegar. Próximo vídeo a gente faz isso. Tá bom? E depois do próximo vídeo. A gente faz a missão. A gente volta para a missão principal. Porque eu queria primeiro desbloquear todo o mapa de Sumeru. Que eu acho que é... Ó, esse aqui ainda é Sumeru, tá vendo? Sumeru. Aqui é Fontaine, ó. Então. Não, peraí. Sumeru. Aqui já é Fontaine. Então, eu queria desbloquear todo o mapa. Até aqui, pelo que eu tô vendo, que é Sumeru, né? Depois de desbloquear todo o mapa. Pegar os pontos de teleporte. E aí, começar a fazer essas missões, tipo essa daqui. E fazer as missões lendárias dos personagens. Então, vamos seguir nas missões principais dos arcontes e tudo mais, tá bom? No próximo vídeo a gente vai colocar o andarilho no time. E explorar as áreas. E não vamos encostar em missão no próximo vídeo, não. Vamos só explorar. Para testar ele em batalha e tudo mais. E daqui a... né, depois de amanhã, né? A gente vai para essa missão aqui, tá bom? Então, para essa missão. Ainda tem os personagens para eu testar. Que eu tô ficando sem tempo para testar. Esse pau eu testo um amanhã já, né? Testo um amanhã. Depois eu vejo se der tempo para testar. A gente vai testar também, tá bom? Vou sair daqui, não quero nem chegar perto para não ativar a missão. Ficar aqui, ó. Mano, informações, meu parceiro. Informações, minha irmã não é desse mundo. Quer dizer, minha irmã é desse mundo. E eu não sou. O que nós já sabíamos que eu não era desse mundo. Só que para nós também a nossa irmã não era. Só que ela é. Mano. Seguir na história para entender melhor, tá bom? Tem essas missões aqui também que eu devo fazer. As que der para fazer missão de mundo, tá bom? Isso aqui é o evento. Aqui, ó. Qual que é o evento? Esse aqui. Eu vou ver se eu vou fazer ou não. O pessoal tá me falando se vai ter spoiler, tá bom? Eu acho que eu não vou fazer, galera. Porque o jogo recomenda que eu faça a missão antes. Deixa eu ver se ele ainda tá recomendando. Tá vendo? Quando eu recomendo assim, eu evito fazer, velho. Mas enfim, tá bom? Próximo vídeo a gente segue, mano. Muita informação top de linha. Beleza? Próximo vídeo, andarilho no time. Andarilho no time. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Se puder, deixar o like. Muito obrigado. E até o próximo vídeo.